The humid air of the tent crackled with an unseen energy, a palpable tension that seemed to vibrate with the very essence of inquiry. Outside, the Mahakumbh Mela erupted into a riot of sound and color, a festival of fervor and faith. But within this canvas of fabric and thought, time itself appeared to bend and warp. The figures gathered were not mere mortals. They were titans of intellect, spectral embodiments of ideas that had shaped the very fabric of our understanding of the universe. Newton, his translucent form shimmering with a faint, powdered wig glow, paced restlessly, a figure of authority and certainty. His mind was a fortress of laws and principles, each step echoing the cadence of a clock, a relentless march of cause and effect. He embodied the classical worldview, one where the universe operated like a grand machine, each cog and wheel meticulously designed to obey the immutable laws of nature. Across from him, Einstein sat perched on a cushion, a playful glint in his eyes, his spectral mustache twitching in amusement. He was the revolutionary, the disruptor of norms, whose theories had reshaped the very foundation of physics. His presence radiated a warmth that contrasted sharply with the cool precision of Newton's logic. "Isaac," he began, his voice a low hum that seemed to resonate with the very fabric of reality, "your laws describe the dance of the planets with breathtaking precision. A falling apple, the moon's orbit, all explained by your elegant equations. But what happens when we peer into the very heart of matter?" The question hung in the air, heavy with implications. Newton halted, his spectral gaze fixed on Einstein, the weight of inquiry pressing down upon him. "The universe is a clockwork mechanism, Albert. Predictable, deterministic. Forces act upon objects, and those objects react. Cause and effect, clear and concise. Your own theory of relativity merely refined my work, extending it to the extremes of speed and gravity." "Refined?" Einstein chuckled, a sound rich with irony. "Relativity showed that space and time are not absolute, but intertwined. And quantum mechanics, well, that shattered your clockwork universe entirely." Newton scoffed, his confidence unyielding. "Quantum mechanics? Probabilities? Uncertainty? Particles behaving like waves? It's preposterous. The universe doesn't play dice, Albert." But perhaps it does, Isaac," Einstein countered, leaning forward, his eyes sparkling with the thrill of the debate. "Perhaps the dice are loaded, and we simply haven't figured out the rules yet. Quantum mechanics isn't about randomness. It's about a deeper level of reality that we are only beginning to understand. Your laws are excellent approximations for the macroscopic world, but they break down when we delve into the atomic realm." "Break down?" Newton's form seemed to stiffen, the air around him thickening with indignation. "My laws are universal." At this moment, Logi, the alien from the Logi galaxy, chimed in, his multi-lensed goggles clicking and whirring as he adjusted them nervously. "In the Logi galaxy, we have observed phenomena that defy both classical and quantum explanations. Perhaps your theories are simply localized." Sub, from the sub-galaxy, who had been absorbing the scene with an unnervingly still presence, emitted a low, resonant tone that vibrated through the tent. "In the sub-galaxy, we have transcended the need for such distinctions. Reality is fluid. It is both particle and wave, deterministic and probabilistic, simultaneously." Newton and Einstein exchanged a look, a flicker of something akin to awe passing between them. They had reached the limits of their understanding, the boundaries of their respective realms of thought beginning to blur. "Perhaps," Newton conceded, his voice barely a whisper, "perhaps the universe is more complex than I imagined." Einstein nodded, a rare moment of camaraderie illuminating his features. "We are but children, Isaac, playing on the seashore, while the vast ocean of knowledge stretches out before us." The debate continued, weaving through the intricacies of scientific rigor and philosophical musings. They explored the double-slit experiment, wave-particle duality, and the enigmatic mysteries of entanglement. They argued, theorized, and pondered the fundamental nature of reality, each idea sparking new lines of thought, illuminating the dark corners of their understanding. As the hours slipped by, the first rays of dawn began to touch the tent, casting a warm glow that illuminated the faces of the gathered intellects. They reached a sort of consensus, a harmonious understanding that classical mechanics and quantum mechanics were not mutually exclusive, but rather complementary descriptions of reality, each valid within its own domain. They were two sides of the same coin, two pieces of a larger puzzle that had yet to be fully assembled. "We have much to learn," Einstein said, a hint of his old enthusiasm returning, his voice laced with hope. Newton nodded, the rigidity of his earlier stance softening. "Indeed. The universe is a book, and we have only read a few pages." Logie and Sub nodded in agreement, their expressions reflecting the profound realization that had emerged from the discourse. The debate had broadened their perspectives, reminding them that even across vast cosmic distances, the quest for knowledge united them in a shared odyssey. As the spectral forms of Newton and Einstein began to fade, leaving behind only a faint shimmer in the air, I felt a deep sense of gratitude for having witnessed this extraordinary exchange. The universe, it seemed, was still full of surprises, a tapestry woven from the threads of inquiry and understanding, ever expanding, inviting all who dared to explore its depths. In that moment, I understood that the pursuit of knowledge was not merely a journey toward answers, but a celebration of the questions that propel us forward, urging us to seek, to wonder, and to embrace the mysteries that lie beyond the horizon of our comprehension.